everybody. We're live. Another Tuesday. We got the classics here.
The Toonie Tuesday two-piece. Me and Todd.
The classics?
Yeah, you're turning into a classic, I think, maybe.
You can find us on the dollar menu.
I'm just going to agree with you. I definitely feel like a classic.
Yeah, you could be a McChicken and maybe a bacon cheese. Is that what's on the dollar menu?
I'm a big McDouble guy. The price of the dollar menu, unfortunately, has skyrocketed, but I'm still on board with the McDubs. But BK's got my heart right now.
You got some good doubles at Wendy's.
BK is phenomenal.
Oh, you can't beat BK.
Yeah, man. Jalapeno cheese pops
Really?
for $1.99. Oh, man.
BK? No.
Anyone who wants to have a good day tomorrow, go get yourself 2 Whoppers. Because it's Whopper Wednesday. Start your day off or end your day off right.
No, I think anyone that loves their significant other, what you need to do, a real treat, McDonald's fries, A&W burgers. Boom. Done. Problem solved.
What about onion rings, though?
McDonald's fries is slipped big time.
Really?
No.
Yeah, man.
Well, Wendy's has new fries.
BK fries and walleye. That's where it's at. That's the number one
BK
meal.
fries and walleye.
That's the
What
number one
about
meal.
Arby's, though?
Arby's?
Isn't Arby's dead?
No, Arby's is a classic.
Really?
See, okay, Arby's in Medicine Hat is no longer Arby's. The dude changed it into the exact same thing as Arby's, but called it Dave's, and it shut down in a month.
Here's the weird one.
Vanilla cones when the McDonald's ice cream is actually working.
Who else
It's
is
hard
dipping
to
their
find
fries
one
in
that works,
Frosties?
but when it
That's
works,
the
it's
real
good.
question here. Who cares about fishing? Are you guys dipping your fries in Frosties? Because that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Fries and Frosties is pretty good.
I've seen it. It's just the salt aspect, I think, like caramel salt, ice cream, all that, maybe. But I don't think I'll waste my time on it.
How about her?
Best poutine goes to Dairy Queen. Chris, I love poutine.
Really?
Grow up. Sorry, guys, we're hungry. I forgot to eat. I had a nap. I'm kind of old and
I
stuff.
keep forgetting you're an 8-year-old. You eat Reese peanut butter cups and you eat chicken strips.
No,
Yeah,
what's
man,
the best, though? Wendy's fries with their hot sauce, that chili sauce.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Get that chili sauce every time.
That's new
I'll
to
have to
me.
do that up.
Even put it on your spicy chicken burger. It's
See,
amazing.
I'm not a fan of chicken burgers at all. Chicken burgers are just, I don't know, something about them.
I have to with the goat.
Are you saying chicken burgers are out, but Filet-O-Fish is in?
Filet-O-Fish. No, I don't think I've ever eaten a Filet-O-Fish in my entire life. But that is one thing. Every time I went to McDonald's with my grandma, she got them. I'm like, that is disgusting.
Pickerel in a bun.
Pickerel in a bun.
All right.
Nothing like walleye.
Huh?
Nothing like walleye. So let's talk about it.
There's nothing better.
Let's talk about that. Are you guys putting in for your special draw?
I probably should. But I believe that it was on a first come, first served basis this year for one of the classes. So I probably missed Class C, I think it was, or whatever it was.
Class C is on the first come.
Class C, I believe, was first come, first served. So I probably missed that boat. But I still have a few options anyways.
I think that's after your draws, though. So you can put your draws for A and B. Then it's going to be like a free-for-all, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just got it a little mixed up.
Like death match? Ring match?
Yeah.
The special draw is, so we have the walleye draws down here, Scott, because there's just not a big enough population for us all to be keeping walleye all the time. So we have special walleye tags that you can apply for and then you can get. I actually think that's a great program, the walleye tagging program. I know it's a little controversial between a lot of guys, but I think it's great myself.
Adam, you did an amazing job trying to explain walleye draws to a guy in a province where they consider perch invasive. So you get the show award 8 minutes in, so congratulations.
Well, they have the Columbia, and I think
Usually it doesn't even take me 8 minutes, so we're good.
the Columbia you can keep quite a few walleye out of too in southern
I
BC.
believe
There.
it's like 15 or 20.
I think it's 15
Yeah,
now.
they don't
Talking to a
want it.
guy last night, and I think it's at 15.
And there's
But-
some good side ones in there, is there not? Like, I mean, I'm not super educated on the Columbia River walleye in
There-
BC, but
There
It's
are
a
I mean, they
good
got
fish.
some really,
good size.
they got a really great opportunity down there. Tons of walleye if you like walleye fishing.
Everyone in southern BC wants to fish rainbows or trout.
Yeah, or bass, and I don't blame them on the bass front because I think they're a riot, man.
Oh yeah, but lots of them don't even touch the bass. From
Yeah,
what,
hey.
like when I go down there, it's like when I used to go to Minnesota. We went down there to fish bass. Everyone's walleye fishing.
Yeah, hey.
You go in looking for bass gear, and everyone's got their spin rigs and whatnot, going for walleye.
I definitely have a ton of fun every time I go out there flipping docks or bass, pretending I'm on the circuit with the old step back hook set.
Yeah. Get the old reefer.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, she's there, boys. It's a 0.5 pounder.
Didn't we warm up for that in Manitoba there a couple times, Adam, on the dock?
Oh, I think so. Oh yeah, with those man, we were fishing some huge bullheads that day.
Yeah, drag set was tight.
I think
Yeah.
it's called giving it the business. The proper
Oh,
term.
I love giving them the business.
You've coined that phrase, Mitch. You need to get that on your new hoodies that are coming. Oh, too soon.
Oh no, we're just working through making sure we get the right product for everybody. Like you can only us tall guys only fit into so many hoodies, right? So
Yep.
I know it's easy to find the shorter, the average person's hoodie.
Yeah, I was
But-
gonna say, approach my people properly here.
I think there's a song about short people. I can't remember who sung it, but I had a buddy that sung it always karaoke, and short people got very aggravated at him.
Really?
Yeah. But
know, I'm excited for those hoodies.
Size of hoodies will truly matter to Adam when he can surpass the XXX youth in Walmart's clearance aisle. So,
Yeah, I get to save a lot of money that way. It's sweet. Unfortunately, my feet grew out of kids' sizes, but I
wait,
mean,
did you see that? Adam, did you see that?
What?
Greg needs a double X. Like,
Adam's
let's talk
size.
about that on the show. Holy sugar tits. What have you been eating since you got crushed by Adam and Sturgeon last year? Holy. Really?
He drowned himself in a pale ice cream, I guess.
You got a blood infection from your tongue ring? Double X.
Anywho,
We are awesome.
let's get back on topic. You know where I was up in Edmonton yesterday, and went to the fishing hole.
Oh, he's letting the cat out of the bag. They're gone.
Yeah, he's coming for you. But hey, that's sturgeon fishing. You have your good years and your bad years.
Yeah, I'd better have a bad year, but
But
I
yeah,
guess some guys have that.
I was up at the fishing hole, and if anyone's looking for Rapalas, and $6 in Edmonton right now.
Olive, man. Love olive. Yep.
Shallow wraps, deep wraps, $6 is insane. And I
That moss
actually,
sign.
I
That's a
met
killer.
BJ's wife, Nikki, there, and there was another guy that helped us out, Ben. Like my dad's looking for a transducer mount for his pontoon,
Oh yeah.
and heck, that guy went out of his way just to try to find something that'd work, because my dad didn't really know what setup he kind of wanted, etc. But this guy went through like every options, and man, he put in the work. But
Oh,
my
right
dad
on.
still was just like, I don't know, I'll think about it. But
Yeah, there's something to be said about the service of the fishing hole. I mean, Nikki, I don't even know how many years she has there. Maybe
Yeah.
BJ's on here, but she's been there a long time, eh?
Yeah, no, amazing service. The deals right now, like if you're going bass fishing, the clackers are on sale. I think they're like 40 or 50% off. I loaded up on them. I loaded up on those Rapalas. It was insane. Like saved so much money.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, fishing poles are a great place, man. The ones I've never been to the ones up in Edmonton, but the ones in Calgary I've always had a wicked experience at. So
Yeah, Edmonton's got a really
6 years plus. See, and that's what's nice is when you have like when you can go to a store and you have long-standing employees that like know what they're talking about and they understand the store. That's always like super handy, man. It makes the experience so much better.
Yeah, there's been a big change at the Calgary one, but they're still pretty friendly, super knowledgeable.
Yeah, I find them to be like that. That's the one thing about the fishing hole is that their staff usually is knowledgeable. So it's
They're
good.
passionate.
They're not just going to sell you random stuff. I mean, they're actually going to help you out.
They're definitely passionate. Even when we're heading a cold lake, we forgot all of our bait in the freezer, so we hit the south one. And as soon as you walk in, all they're doing is talking about where they're fishing, blah blah blah. They do it. They do it because they love it, and they give you that information. So, but yeah, great place. Get in on that deal if you can make it up there. I took a bunch of them, so
yeah, like that's one of my favorite lures, man. So that's sick.
I know. There's still a big basket there.
Do you know what upsets me about that price, Mitch? Is the 100 I have sitting in my garage have all lost value by 50%, which, there goes my lure investment.
Yeah. No, it's insane. I was like, oh my God, these are my favorite. Oh my God, I'll just get all the colors.
Yeah, I mean, you had Halloween. You had all of, take your pick, man. Those are all dynamite.
Oh, man. It was stacked with Halloweens, too. I was like, oh, I need this. I need this. And I'm like, whoa, I have too many now. So then I put back one and grabbed more colors.
Yeah.
Then we stopped at Cabela's, and the cases were on sale. Like, I think they're $6 for a good-sized case right now.
Wow.
And, like, I have so many bags of lures, like the $6.
Oh, yeah.
Might as well get some of those to fill all your repels.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I need to pick up some new trays. I went hard on the organizing last week and getting ready for open water, so I need a few things.
I might have some here you can have when we come down because I'm just going to chuck them otherwise.
Oh, the box is filled again today.
Oh, man.
The double tier Plano stowaways, I swear by them. I will not use anything else. They're just phenomenal. They take a beating. They're close friendly. I can close them and forget them.
Yeah. If you close your box, Todd.
If you close them. Life's an open box.
I've seen it. But let's roll into what we're talking about tonight. I don't know if you want to start with the regs or spring fishing. What do you guys want to do?
Let's start mellow with spring fishing.
I knew you were thinking that road.
We'll get into the regs. But
yeah.
I don't know, man. Have you guys been out lately? I've been fishing. I'm having a good time. I keep thinking that I'm going to be done ice fishing, and then it's cold again, and I wish that it wasn't, and I just want to put the boat in the water. But
yeah, I mean, for us, the river's ready. We're kind of chomping at the bit to get out. It's snowing here today. It's been cold the last couple days. I am going to start packing my gear with me. I just have to. It's one of those things like Xander and we work together. I've been telling him it's one of those things you have to schedule it. If you don't schedule it, it's not going to happen. And Marcy loves this time open water here, so we're going to start hitting it probably as soon as next week and just get on it. We've been seeing a lot of guys catching some nice fish the last couple of weeks out of the bow, so
it's a really good time to be out there. I mean, soon as ice comes out, so I don't have the opportunity to fish the river around here, but soon as the ice comes off those lakes, soon as that water temperature starts coming up, I mean, it's prime time to be fishing. Spring fishing is my favorite. I personally like it over fall.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I mean, for me, I got to wait till kind of the start of May there to get on most of my bodies of water. But the stock trout fishing for the next 2 weeks is going to be like unreal as the ice comes off. So, like I say, I'm ready to get the fly rod out and start casting streamers to the bank and see how she goes.
Yep.
Yeah. I know Nicole was asking about Star Lake. I have no experience there. And
Where is that, Mitch? I'm not
I
familiar.
believe that's more up north, so I don't think you guys know much about it
Unfortunately,
either.
I pretty much live in Saskatchewan almost, so I don't get up north a super lot. But
Yeah.
Star Lake, I feel like I've definitely heard of that though.
Yeah. No, we haven't fished Star Lake, so I have no information on it, but
Oh
I
yeah,
believe
it's
it's a rainbow lake, isn't it?
west of Wabamun. I mean, if I have it right here, Star Lake.
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
in
I
there?
think it's a rainbow
East
lake.
of Wabamun, not west.
So just,
Rainbows?
I believe it's a trout pond.
Is it bait ban or is it a trophy trout pond or?
I don't think it's
Because
a
I
trophy.
mean, if it was me and we're start of the year, I don't know if she said that she was spin fishing or fly fishing or what have you. But if I'm spin fishing early, I mean, I like to just slip bob and minnows. If you have the opportunity to throw spinners in those stock trout ponds, if you got some bigger fish in there, they'll crush spinners, they'll crush spoons. But for the most part, I love slip bobbing. So I don't know if you're allowed to use bait there, but if you can slip bob a minnow, if you can slip bob a worm, that's likely a really good place to start to kind of locate fish, and then you can kind of fish a little more aggressively if you want. If you're
Yeah, I
fly
mean,
fishing, I'm fishing black leeches pretty much for the first couple
I'm
weeks of the
seeing
year.
perch and rainbows if it's the right one I'm looking at, and I'd be shooting for that island that's on the left-hand side of that map. There's some pretty good
I think I've
structures.
seen Chris there say it's loaded with perch and it's got some rainbows and it's got some tigers there. So
Tigers, yeah, and
no bait ban, yeah. So I mean, I'd probably go there and I mean I'd cast a spoon around myself personally, walking around trying to locate some fish because I've seen there's tigers in there. They like spoons, or strip
And if
a
you're
black
not
leech
sure,
if
just
you're fly fishing.
look for the guy in the purple snowsuit. That's probably Costa. Just follow his lead, and he'll probably put you on some fish. That's what I would do.
Looks
yeah,
like he's already open water fishing. Costa's after the Browns. Costa and
yeah,
BJ
Costa
there,
and
they got on
BJ.
some Browns. I
Yeah.
checked out the video there. Looked like a good time.
Yeah, he was up in my neighborhood, it seemed like, so
Yeah.
it's opening
I
up.
can't wait to be chucking flies.
Yeah, a lot of guys are checking flies out west here, so it looks good. Like a lot of people, Clayton,
Jared.
Kevin, Jared.
Yeah.
Out west,
Water's low. So.
yeah, it's still like super slow fishing until we get that temperature up, but people are landing fish, so I know Clayton did real
Had
good.
a nice bull there as well too. They posted, I think, last week or whenever that was. I forget, but
Yeah, that was his
Nice
PB.
fish.
That was a
Who
nice
was that?
Sladen. Oh, Sladen had a good one too, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he? I didn't see that one.
Sladen got his PB bull last week, I believe.
Yeah,
I saw Clayton's bull, and that's out of a classic place. There's always some in that wintering hole there.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like if you're river fishing right now and you're not fishing wintering holes or like really close to them, like I would probably think about switching up my tactics to go target them because the fish aren't moving yet because the water's so low, right? Once we get them melt and they can move around, then they're going to be spread out. Water will warm up a little bit, and they'll be moving around and feeding. But right now, it's kind of like it's a little bit easier than it's going to be all year because your water's low, it's crystal clear, and fish are in the wintering holes. That's where they're at. Simple.
Yeah, they haven't moved out of them at all for sure. A lot of my favorite spots, I won't even start fishing till typically about June or July because they just have not moved into those areas a whole bunch yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially out west. Out west, look for those deep holes.
Yeah,
They're all going to be
absolutely.
stacked up in there. If you're not getting bites on your classic little live target trouts and stuff, or small spoons or spinners, downsize to a tungsten with just a small plastic on it. Like, go small because they're still eating small. They're still like eating on nymphs and everything.
Yeah, you got to think they're eating nymphs. Like, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of minnows chilling in the pools with them. If they are, they're probably going to get eaten. So you're fine to chuck a streamer through or like a bait pattern through. But like, yeah, I'd be nymphing mostly. If I'm fly fishing, I'm nymphing. Even if I'm spin fishing, like you say, you can slip bobber with plastics or flies if you want to. You get weighted bobbers. So
This year hasn't changed. I did not use my fly rod once last year.
No?
Nope. Brand new reel on it for 2 years. I have not used it.
We'll have to fix that.
Yeah.
Hopefully the jet will be out in a week. Yeah, a buddy of mine was out on the river down here. The river's ice free. I mean, we're just not allowed to fish it yet. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that's got to be awfully exciting for jet boat guys to get their boat out for the first time of the year.
Oh yeah. Even around
You're gonna
here,
be sliding across the ice banks and stuff, Greg, like a wild man, or what? Last year I know he was driving it up some crazy skinny water. It looked wild.
Yeah, he's a wild man, that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're going, yeah, I guess we kind of touched on it. The ponds and stuff. Just go small. They're gonna stay in those deeper holes just because the water temperature is better right now. And before that water turns over, because as soon as that water turns over, you got like a week of just dead space.
Right. And like if you're fishing those ponds, like right now, I mean, if it's got suckers in it, the suckers are going to be spawning right away. So they're going to be schooled up in the shallow. It's pretty easy a lot of the times to just go find them and see where they're at. There's going to be trout circling around those because what do? They eat their eggs all the time. So if you can get egg patterns even from Canadian Tire, I know they sell little, like, I don't know, different style of baits and they look like eggs and stuff like that. Those would all be killer right now too because they're eating sucker eggs in the ponds mostly.
Yeah. You guys got any trips planned this spring?
Oh man.
My mom's coming up, so I'm just going to take her fishing. That's my most exciting trip.
We're really wanting to try to go out to the Fraser and maybe get a couple sturgeon. I don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to try to schedule it, see if it'll happen. But we were talking before the show. I mean, Marcy and I want to do our annual trip down to Medicine Hat. Hopefully, Greg has actually offered to pay us $500 to ditch Adam and go north. But, you know, family, man, I can't bail on family for money. I appreciate your ride, Greg. So hopefully we can make that work. Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. Things are crazy.
Sure. Bow guide, I know, said fish nymphs in the bow and the buckets right now. Yeah, for sure. That would make a lot of sense. I'd be fishing on like a San Juan with like I don't know, pheasant tail or something like that above it or behind it, depending on which one's heavier. But browns, sturgeon, bows, bulls in that order. I wish I had more brown options down south here because BJ, I would be all over that. Browns. I see a lot of guys fishing them in central and northern right now. That's a one fish I don't fish a whole lot. Man, they're beautiful.
Hit up that. I think it's that Rose Creek there. Shooting out the back.
What?
I think it's Rose Creek that comes out the back of Cypress there.
No, it's Battle Creek. Battle Creek.
Maybe, but I know there's browns in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's
there
like
was browns in that one.
There's like small browns if you go into southeast or southwestern Saskatchewan, but like I don't know. I fish that area lots, and it's a lot of really small fish. It's really beautiful, but it's a lot of really, really small fish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, but I like to fish larger ones.
Yeah.
Call me a snob.
Yeah, no, I probably sneak into BC right away. I got my buddy, well, Craig's been talking to me every couple of days, just keeping me informed. So we're just kind of waiting for the water temperature, and we'll try to do turkey hunt, bass fishing trip, I think.
Oh, right on.
Do the double whammy, maybe.
Right on. Yeah, I'm hoping to get out to BC for bass this year. I didn't get to go last year with everything going on and stuff, so hopefully I'll get out there at some point.
Yeah.
Even the small ones need some. Well, yeah, that's why I go visit them every once in a while, Broden. But I can't spend too much time out there.
Sounds like a saying right from the Shire there, Broden.
For sturgeon, and hopefully get a day or two in the big water for salmon. That'll be wicked.
Yeah,
That'll be
yeah.
a killer trip there.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to get
With
to
the price of fuel, are you going to haul your boat up there, Greg?
Might
I know,
as well.
I'd be hopping on a plane. Like, Jesus Christ, man. The price of fuel is insane, especially out there.
Especially out there. You need
Not
a
to
slip
mention
tank.
when you look at how cheap flights are right now. No
Oh,
one
is that-
wants your time driving.
Are flights pretty cheap right now?
I think Xander looked like last week they were like $90, or it was outrageously cheap.
You
Really,
better
eh?
book it now.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'd be up to booking that because it's not long and they got to go up with the price of
Yeah,
fuel.
they got to skyrocket. Greg's taking
Nice.
2 boats.
That's always super cool. I always like really appreciate the dudes who like go up there, take their own boats, and like do the hard work. Like that takes a lot, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure
$84
there's not
round
a
trip.
thing about it easy. Yeah.
Yep.
Thought a brook trout sitting on top of a black bear's head would make a nice photo. Yeah, that'd make a good photo, Mike. I'd agree.
That'd be interesting for
That'd be
sure.
super cool, man.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. From living, I miss living in the Yukon where we hunted black bears, like blacks and grizzlies, and like, man, I miss that. Those were fun hunts.
Yeah, we start baiting. We might set up a baits this weekend. I don't know for black bear, but
Yeah, eh?
we'll see. If
Yeah,
they don't
bear-
come till the last weekend of May, usually, anyways. But
That's
Right.
bow, right, Mitch?
pardon,
That's bow hunting, right?
it's everything.
Oh,
We
is it?
bow.
Okay.
We bow hunt them. It's just more fun.
And spring bear is cool because they still have thick hides and stuff like that. I was always a bigger fan of spring bear than fall. So
Yeah,
that'll be
they
fun.
come.
Appeal to me, man. I don't know why.
They're tasty, man.
Yeah,
Bareback
dude, like-
strap, get that in you.
Yeah, man. And like, I don't know, like I love just like
Just for
you don't
you,
even
Tash.
got
Just
you
for
don't even
Tash.
got the Flames jersey. Like you don't even gotta eat them, man. Like bears are just like or shoot them. Like bears are just like the coolest. I love bears, man.
Yeah, you legally don't have to, but I recommend eating them because there's so much like maybe just people get in people's heads that they don't taste good or whatever. They're the same as pork. Cook them like pork. They're delicious.
Yeah.
Like, don't ever think a bear's not good. You
Bear
marinate.
sausage, really good. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Really good.
yeah.
I'm no expert hunter, I'll tell you that. We'll leave that one to this. I always do the wrong one. We'll leave that to this guy. This guy knows what's going on in the hunting department.
Well, it's
Not
always
this
hard.
guy.
You gotta go the opposite way.
This guy probably gets hunted. He looks like Bigfoot.
This
You
guy.
put him out in the
Bigfoot.
river and people are taking photos. Is that Bigfoot? Except he moves too slow and then they're like,
No,
oh,
when he
that's-
walks to the
that's his
trees
dog.
on the way to the river.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. There's just tourists lined up as you're walking down to the river. It's him. It's him.
I've actually debated this year because I have things to pay for. I'm just going to walk up and down the Bow River and report a poacher. That's going to be my my side gig this year.
Money in the bank.
I bet you could grab one person a day, and that makes more than an average day's job.
Why not?
Yeah, for sure, dude.
They're paying like $200-300 per report. What do
Yeah.
you need to work for?
I got like 4 something last time.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the one we got was $350.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just
For the people that don't know, like if you do report a poacher and it leads to an arrest or however you want to call it, like
Yeah.
a conviction, that's the word I was looking for, a conviction, you get paid for it, man. You can get a couple $100 for it. So, I mean, take advantage of it. You see someone doing something wrong or treating you poorly while they're doing something wrong,
Yeah.
hey, man, they're just putting money in your pocket.
BJ got 480. Like
2 rods and a bait.
480. Wow. Yeah.
Like I reported a guy just bonking walleyes and just throw them in the back of his truck at the boat launch.
We were just talking about this the other day. I want to know what the people got for reporting the 2 dudes that shot the blue Huron.
It's called a heron.
Not
A
Huron.
Huron? Like, what are you, fucking David Attenborough? Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
That was aggressive.
Look, it's a repeat offender from hits from the bong.
But no,
Yeah.
this is what I was going to mention is, okay, so like Barry got 480, like that's super cool. One of the problems I have is, so like last year, there was an instance on the Livingston River. These guys got busted with like, I think they had like 3 bull trout and like 30 cutties, like ridiculous amount of fish that are protected. Those are 2 protected species. How much of a fine do you think each of them got?
Maybe $400 or $500.
No, it was actually a little more than that. It was $1,000 each.
Like 1,000. Well, there's a huge case right now off Catamount Rams. There was, can't remember how many guys, but it's just going in like this week. And I think they shot a couple rams on the mine site. So it's over the line, and that's rams. But I still don't think it's going to be harsh enough. Like it's not marked well, but if you don't, like, if you're going to split the hair of marking a line, you should probably just stay away from it. It doesn't mean that much to shoot an animal to you to maybe break the law, maybe not.
The issue is with the whole subject, Mitch, is that people that enjoy the outdoors and are passionate about, like us or so many people watching, the punishment will never fit the crime. It could be $100,000 and it still won't be enough in our eyes. It's all the other hey you type people that will just assume it's good enough, and that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
And until people start realizing it's the punishment will never fit the crime. I don't care what it is. As far as I'm concerned, take an arm, take a leg. I don't know.
It'll still, as long as it goes up a bit, there's no deterrent. Like some of those people are getting $1,000 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Like what does that mean? Like, oh, I can go shoot an elk. There was a guy a month ago shot an elk. He had barely any fines and only like a year or 2 from not hunting. And he dished the body, took the head.
And do you think he's really not going to hunt for a year or 2 if he went ahead and shot an elk completely out of season and didn't care anyway?
Ridiculous.
Murderers get 5 years. Why should poachers get any more than a couple $100?
Everything's a slap on the wrist. It's disgusting. It's brutal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I mean, like, there's obviously different, like, little touches, right? Like, the dude who is, like, I don't know, like, someone who's brand new that has no idea what they're doing, right? And you just completely know. And you got to teach those people, and you can't just be like, we're going to hit you with the book right off the bat. But when you got someone who's like, okay, we caught you 2 weeks ago bait fishing on the Castle River. And this week you're bait fishing on the Old Man River, and we actually looked it up. And last year you got caught baiting on the Old Man River, so clearly you're not going to stop. So these fishing rods are now mine, and here's your 10K.
Yep.
You're not fishing anymore.
Like at least then just 10K is a good one then, but give them like 6 years without a fishing license at least. Yeah. Like something they'll actually think about, not like 1 year.
Yeah.
6
like,
years,
if
10
you're
years.
willing to just go fishing without a license and then you get caught, well,
yeah,
I don't know. It just has to get progressively worse. It can't be like, oh, you got $100 fine, and now the fine's $120 because whoop-de-doo. Like, if the dude's going to have a crazy day of fishing and it costs him $120, he probably doesn't care because a guide is $600. So if he can go out and bait fish and just have a crazy day of fishing, and get $100 fine at the end of it and get to keep all this stuff at the end of the day and shakes the officer's hand. Sorry, officer. What actually happens? Nothing. And that's what happens every time is the problem.
That is an amazing point. Like you can buy a
minimum
guide
every time
and get fined the same as having a guide, pretty much. That's
yeah.
No,
I don't know.
totally agree with that.
It's brutal. Like, what do these guys do? They go and they keep a ton of walleye wherever they go. Well, okay. I wonder why there's a tag. I wonder why there's a tag system that all these same dudes complain about.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
Richard's so right with that comment. I mean, it's
you really
all
think that's going to stop them from hunting or fishing? They will still go. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's what I agree.
Speeding tickets or parking tickets or anything else, right? It all comes down to the enforcement. So
yeah, it has to get worse. And you know what? If you got to put someone in a cell for a month, 2 months, oh, sorry, man, and then they lose their job because of it, well, guess what? That person might rethink it next time. Maybe they won't.
Yeah.
But if that consequences are going to roll downhill, right? So.
Well, it makes you wonder because if you don't pay your taxes and they keep chasing you, they turn your bank accounts off. If you don't pay your child support, they cut your licenses. So how hard is it really to start to implement something?
Apparently quite hard, Todd, because we're in 2022 and we're still not moving forward, and our regulations, if we want to get into them, are not moving forward in the slightest.
You're right, Adam. We need to implement the public stoning and shaming regulation of 2023.
Public stoning and shaming.
Run with it.
No, like I am done with it though. Like I'm seriously done with it, and I'm done with the people that are in charge, man, because they don't obviously care. Anyways, like for real, we need to like go and vote non-confidence in Fish and Game because they're a joke. Seriously, and maybe people will disagree with me on that. Maybe I'm being a little too aggressive, but these dudes literally don't change anything. It's the same people year after year after year giving you the same automated responses every single time you write them. It's ridiculous.
With the fishing and the hunting industry, it's getting out of hand because they're going more political. All they see is people saying, we want to keep fish.
Believe me, it's going so political that look at my Instagram story. I got told to go and check the Alberta legislation for social media commenting today just because I disagreed with what the regs posted. Like, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, no. And like even the grizzly bear hunt's crazy. Like they have to do something, but if they do anything about it, it's political suicide, so they're not going to address it.
But it's not political suicide. The problem with the grizzly bear hunt, and I'm sorry, but for the people who go, oh, what are they going to do? Put a lottery out for 5 bears? Oh, what are you sad because you're probably not going to get a tag, bro? Because 5 bears over 5 years is 25 bears. And if we only have, say, 55 bears or whatever they think we have here in Alberta, that's ridiculous. Well, that's half of them. So then we can look back at it again and be like, okay, we killed 25, but there's still 75 now. So we can maybe give 2 more out a year, and now 7 guys can get it. Or maybe we need to back it off and 4 guys get it. But if you can't be open to small steps in the right direction, then we're constantly going to stay with, oh, well, it's political suicide. We don't want to touch it. We need to push for it. That's the thing. We need to constantly write Jason Nixon and be like, we need a grizzly bear hunt in Alberta, dude. We need a grizzly bear hunt in Alberta, dude. And politely.
But I mean, the functional problem with grizzly bear in general is everyone's basing it on the fact that there's a border. And what's on one side is different from the other. And until those two are consistent in where they stand, it's always going to be like this. It's not going to change. We're not going to be allowed to change the way it is just based on
the problem is and I disagree with that 100%, because you know what?
Because if you ever agree with me in our friendship, I would probably unfriend you on Facebook.
But no, because like look at the mountains. Every time there's activists, they win because they yell louder than everybody else. So if you're not willing to say, give us a grizzly bear hunt, Jason Nixon, then shut up. Shut up about your opinion because it doesn't matter. Either speak up.
The problem is they know the problem. It's
and everyone
who
keeps
wants
writing
to commit politics suicide, pretty much.
But he needs proof that people want it too. He can't just be like, well, science says, because at this point, obviously, in the world, science does not matter.
The numbers are there.
Sorry, does anyone know, does Jason Nixon even hunt?
Yeah. He fishes too.
Okay, yeah. Well, is he an avid, avid angler or outdoorsman? Or
the problem is it's going against these huge CPAW and Y2Y movements out of the States backed by millionaires and stuff. If they go against them, it's political suicide, and they don't want to address it. They don't. Nobody wants to address it. You're not going to find a political person that wants to go against those companies.
Okay, so why are bull trout spawning grounds open? Why did the brown trout reds in downtown Calgary get reopened?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
Why with CPAW's backing stuff like that? Because CPAW's doesn't care. CPAW's is a political joke.
They just want to run that mountain line all the way up and make it a provincial park. That's the only thing they want to do.
Yep. They just want to fill their pockets, man. They don't care. That's why people like me and you need to constantly keep writing emails because, man, I commented, seriously, they have 3 different, you have to check 3 places before you can go fishing this year because they can't get this right. And because I said that is wrong, you can't make people check 3 different locations because of your mistake. I received a message saying that you cannot comment on our stuff anymore and you need to go check the Alberta legislation for social media commenting. And I said, why? Because I don't agree with your point of view, and they won't answer me. So you know who I messaged? Jason Nixon with the screenshots. I said, what's going on here with your departments, man? And look, you can't. I get pissed off when I talk on shit like this with people and you guys. I get fired up, right? But when you write your emails, you have to be smart about it. You can't be swearing and carrying on and just going off about your opinion. You have to write factual based information. And I have that. I just flip out because this stuff drives me so nuts, man. Like, are you kidding me? We have to check 3 places to go fish an old pike and walleye lake that's still full of them because they want to call it a trophy rainbow pond now.
But see, Adam, this is where I'll disagree with you. I mean, to some point is the fact that you're sitting there and saying that it's up to you and Mitch. No, it's not up to you and Mitch. It's up to everybody.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's up to everyone.
So until, the Barrys, the Gregs, the Brandons, the Dinos, and everyone else get off their asses and start sending letters.
That's what I mean. Everybody.
One person is not going to change anything.
No, and I know. And that's what I say it as me or me and you need to do this. Yeah. But I mean, me and everybody, everybody who believes in this stuff needs to make this happen. Because if it was one person can't make a difference, man.
No, if it was me and you already know how to write the letter the right way, then maybe you guys should start posting templates that people can copy and paste and where to send it. And hey, let's just start sending the same thing. Who cares?
That's what, exactly. And just start a page.
Post your templates and where to send it, and everyone can start copy pasting and just bombard it. That's the only way change is going to happen.
If you start a page, then we can get it out there and have the templates on those sites and keep the information coming for different areas to address. And if people find that they want to get in on that and sign that, hey, that's good. Because I know there's a lot of things that have to be addressed.
This is one of the problems. Like Mike said here, do you address resolutions? And that's the thing is you have to have a resolution. You can't just be like, I disagree. Because
Yeah.
what do you disagree with? That's cool.
There's no
You have to have a
solution.
resolution. So
I mean,
you
there's
have
so
to,
many great writers in the group watching on the show and stuff like that. Like, just start getting some letters formulated so, the
Right.
meatheads, like, well, I'll just pick on him. Dino can say, hey, this is how it's written, and write their own based on that, not just like,
Right.
hey, you suck, right? Like
Yeah,
some
and
type
that
of
makes sense.
formulation.
and make sure like you're addressing like I say, a resolution, like Mike asked, like, okay, bull trout spawning grounds, like main stem Sheep River. Why do they close all these tributaries for bull spawning and then knowingly leave the sheep open when it was closed before?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know
And
why they
hopefully
don't close
Clayton's
down
not
the
writing
bow.
one of the templates, because he's either been hacked or he's just got an affliction with his own junk.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah.
The bow has to, like, there's two different trout species in there, a spring spawner and a fall spawner.
Yeah.
Why aren't we closing them? It's the same
Yeah,
as on
and
the
like-
Red Deer River with the browns. Why aren't we closing the brown? Because that was a trophy fishery. And now it's gone so downhill.
Yeah.
Close it. Like,
And what did they do on the bow recently? They were not I guess I shouldn't say recently, within the past 10 years, they had that section closed, but they reopened it. Why?
Yep.
In the fall. Why did you do that?
Easy.
There's no reason for it.
No, because they had 500
You know what the
people
reason
send
is?
letters to complain
You know what the
about it.
reason is? Because enough people said, I want to fish that section.
Yeah.
Probably. Enough people probably wrote, I want to fish that section.
They
Because
had
it's
enough
easy.
complaints.
And like, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from it. It's easier to fish a spawning fish than it is to fish a non-spawning fish.
oh yeah, bash them off the red.
It's just simple. That's why like largemouth guys fish beds like crazy, right? Like you can fish beds, it's easy, right?
Here's an example. There was an access road you couldn't go down. How did it get opened? You knew the right people and enough people complained.
Yeah. You can change anything with just a few people that speak their mind and make a big deal about it.
Yeah. And the problem is you just have to have multiple people because like Todd said, one guy is not gonna make a difference. I still have yet to scan one fish
guy
out.
can lead the way. You're
And that's the
already
thing,
leading the
right?
way.
And like Dino's like that was cool that I seen that. Like that's a super good move in the right direction. Like Dino's may not have caught a fish that he has tagged yet and like recaptured, but they actually got someone who's like, whether you want to make fun of how like Dino's writing a letter, Dino's is a fisherman, man. Like that guy's out on the bow more than anyone I know. So who's the best guy to, if you want to run this program, who's the best guy to put a tagger in his hands? Dino. Thank God they did that.
Yeah.
Not to mention the guy, I mean, not to pump his tires here, but it doesn't matter what you need or help with or guidance or anything. You want to talk about someone that can lead people to do something like that. He might not be able to write a letter, but I'll tell you what, he can get people to send them.
He's the man.
Right?
Like Dino's is the man. I don't care what anyone says. Like
It's the
whatever.
only good compliment he gets from me
It's-
this year too. So
It's just like we have to make like big strides because these guys aren't, man. Look at Cold Lake again, still this year. What are you keeping? The big ones.
Yeah, that's a broken problem for so long, and it's never going to get
But
addressed.
and what when okay, so 50 years from now it's still gonna suck. And then so what next year we can make it 49 years from now it'll be better. 48 years from now it'll be better. We have to start at some point. Like it doesn't matter how broken it is. We gotta restart. We need a complete overhaul, man.
Look at the Yukon
Well,
and Saskatchewan. They're taking the non-super productive spawners out, and you get like one. Or the smaller, the younger aged. Like I think Yukon's like around 30 some inch. You can keep a couple, but you can't keep you can keep one over 40, but it's a total different aspect there.
yeah.
The
you can keep one
population
trophy.
is crazy.
For
Yeah.
instance, 40-mile reservoir. Last year you keep 3 pike. This year you can keep 0 pike. Why? Couldn't tell you. I can catch pike lights out there nonstop of both sizes. But you know what's keeping you from keep catching giants there? the fact that you can keep 3 over 63 instead of 3 under 63, because now you've closed it and you stunted it.
Yep.
Pretty simple, man. If you can't keep a single fish out of the lake, it's of all the predators, you stunt them.
But well, the other issue is why would you go from a 0 limit to a 3? Why can't you even just do 1 like some?
And the other limit, and the other issue is okay, you want to take pike from 3 to 0? Okay,
Yep.
well, I can catch pike there, lights out. You know what I can't catch there, lights out anymore? Over the past, since 5 years ago? Burbot. And you want to know why? Because you can keep 10, and everybody does. If I can get 10 on the ice, I'm going to keep every single one of them. No,
Yep.
man. No, man. You can't do stuff like that, right? You know that.
No.
Just because the limit says 10 doesn't mean you got to be a meathead and keep 10, right?
Wabaman. Barry's right. Yeah, Wabaman. Yeah, but Barry, they catch 750 walleye there an hour, so Wabaman's kind of...
The clicker burns out. Clicker burns out. You catch them so fast on custom rods, too, man.
CP Rail catches 100 just crossing the tracks, I heard. So.
Oh, man. I heard CP Rail caught a ton of lake trout in Crow's Nest this year.
Yeah, I bet.
Just dropped the train and trapped them. I'm horrible.
Floating downstream.
Yeah. But no, like we say, it's all got to be small. They're obviously they're not going to take
size limits are backwards. Saskatchewan's got that right with the size limit end of things.
Yeah. Size limits are backwards. Species limits are backwards. I mean, even lake whitefish populations are hurting, man.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to bring that up. Sylvan is getting smashed, and he can still keep 5.
Yeah.
And
every lake down here, you can keep 10, man. And they're crushed.
You watch the waters turn red after they open that up for 1 walleye a day. Bonked, gone. Bye-bye, walleye. They're gone. There's no more. There's too much population.
Most densely populated area of the province. Let's open a lake up one a day.
So they need to bring that down to maybe 2, because people are just destroying them. I like to eat them, but
don't get me wrong.
I'll keep a couple, but I'm not gonna keep my limit because I don't need it for fresh fish. Is what's the best.
You know what's
freezer fish?
Yeah, Richard. No one's comparing Alberta to Saskatchewan. That's pretty much a no-brainer. Obviously, we know it's not the same. What I'm saying is the method or the structure is what Alberta is. Yeah, obviously, they're 2 totally different markets. Yeah.
Population of water absolutely is way different. But we talked about it earlier. One person can't make a difference in the positive direction. And the thinking about it, one person can make a change in the negative direction though. That is one of the biggest things that we need to realize is say you're a really good fisherman on a lake and you fish that lake a lot and you keep fish all the time, you'll ruin it yourself.
Yeah.
I know I have the capability to do it on certain lakes around me. You have to be conservative minded regardless of what the limits are, because that's the one thing is we need to constantly message people and write people and tell them what our opinions are and make sure we're heard. But we also the most important thing is our the number one thing we can change is what we do every time we go, right? So
yeah,
I mean, I can always get better at stuff. I mean, we all can. So
it's education to everybody.
Perfect, right? Everyone has room for improvement.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't think that realistically, I don't think that coming at someone when they're not doing things is the right way. And I know that probably doesn't jive with the way that I do things a lot, but we just got to be smarter, because I see so many for one person, an example, it's no matter what he does, someone's got something to say. And it's not he's scared. He's told me, he's I don't even want to post anymore. And he only posts on his own personal page. And yet still he'll post on his own personal page.
Talking about it.
Oh, why are you using a mesh net? You should be using a rubber net. I go, well, he goes, well, I got told my rubber net was wrong. I go, yeah, and don't worry, John. If you use a rubber net the next time, he's going to tell you that the holes in the rubber net are too big. They need to be smaller to cushion the fish better. You got to stop just incessantly
Well, and the worst part is you can't expect change overnight. I mean, I just thought of something that kind of makes me laugh. When we were raised to fish, growing up, we had 4 generations in our family where they were taught, if you caught a sucker, you throw it on the shore because they're bad for the lake. What would happen if, as a generation, we carried that forward, right? I mean, look at how many years it took to change that mentality.
That's the same as burbits, though. They're throwing them on the ice for years, and it's one of the best tasting fish out there. Like, they fished them out in the 90s for fish and chips.
Bulls in the rivers, man. Bulls in the rivers. They used to say, get these greasy things out of here. They're killing everything.
Mike has a good question there with the AFGA. I mean, that's a pretty valid point, but, to some degree, too, everyone has to realize that AFGA, CFGA, all those places are really clubs and organizations. They don't have a political component, for obvious reasons, right? I mean,
they do and they don't, because
they have
your club is supposed to be like your first, kind of like the first people to have your back, kind of thing. Like, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Because when you put a resolution forward in a club, they won't put it forward unless you get 2 people to second that motion. Like, in at least in my club, you can't put a resolution through without having to.
Just because I miss talking to you guys, it's this simple, Adam. I'll stop you. Okay, Mitch is right. Clubs have an input. Mitch, are you part of a club?
No, if I have something to say, I address
Adam, are you part of a club?
Yeah, I've been part of Medicine Hat Fishing Game.
So
for years.
Why are more people not part of clubs to change that? If they're there for input and we're talking about a platform.
And I was getting there.
Not everyone can. You know how much the fee for a red deer fishing game is?
$50.
No, but I know what it is for Calgary.
It's like 300. Last time I think it was 300 something.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that club is pretty corrupt. Then someone's
I'll go straight to the people I know. Like, I know some people that are higher up or have worked with the ACA when I bring up my concerns, and I'll go to them. Yeah, and I'll do my reports and whatnot.
300.
But I know.
Yeah, because that's
crazy, man.
That's rude. Like that makes no sense.
We don't even buy a gun range there. We go through Trout because it's under $100.
See, and Medicine Hat.
You know what I pay for a membership yearly is $65. If it's $300 a year, there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
We're $56 and we have a gun range and shotgun club.
Yeah. No, red deer's expensive. Like, the first year I signed up was $150, and that was years ago.
That's wild.
And now it's just
and you guys should have immaculate facilities.
That's straight up BS.
They have a good.
You guys should have them. Like, Sylvan should have the most beautiful cleaning stations, and if you're paying that much, that's crazy.
Hey, you know what's happening this year? Lacombe County put $20 on just parking at any boat launch. When you launch your boat, you have to go onto a site and say you're parking there, and it's $20 a day.
Better be some really nice boat launches. They better be maintenance.
What is the $20 a day going back into? Like, is there?
Who knows? That'll be Sunbreaker on Sylvan. That'll be all of Gull Lake. Any launch. Freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. And you know what? To pay to use a launch is pretty typical, but to park there too. You gotta pay to launch and then pay to park. Am I understanding that correctly?
Are they washing my boat after?
But any boat launch I know of, you have to pay to launch. But if you have to pay to launch and park, that makes no sense.
Yeah, but
it's the only way
there's
they
a
can
lot.
maybe catch poachers to actually pay for something. If they're taking the fish, pay for parking at least, you crooked
They're trying to get their fishing license out of them.
Yeah.
I
I just
$300 a year, like that's bullshit. Let's be honest. I mean, if any of
That's
you are part of that club, sorry, but I mean, it's not just about the rich having access to that. I mean, I pay $65 a year. Is it high? Maybe, but for that input factor or that group factor, that's not a lot of money.
I'm not 100% on that, but I think it was for the gun range, pistol range, and access to their clubs and whatnot. Like they have a place out by Pine Lake with a pond stocked and everything.
Yeah,
and
that's
now,
great.
now, like, and that's my other problem is, so yes, I am part of a club. Do I really believe in my club? No.
Okay, so there is actually different ones for Red Deer. There's basic family, youth. But yeah,
But if you were
family is $275. I can understand range being high like that. That does make sense.
Yeah. Like I see guys like if you had to pay, I wouldn't launch like you'll never fish anywhere in Ontario then like.
But
maybe that's whatever, but most places like if there's something going on there, you got to pay to launch.
Well, and Ricky's right. It should be going back into something, right? Like,
well, that's the thing. It's like
look at different states.
Do you get
their whole program of fishing licensing and fees and stuff like that? That's tracked. That's all going back into the stocking programs, back into bodies of water. Like you take your pick, it's going back into what they invested into. If you're doing snowmobile licenses and stuff like that down there, that's going back into the trails. Like,
I mean, people like look at there's people who pay to drive. Like, if you want to drive on Lake of the Woods to go ice fishing, you got to pay.
Perfect.
Yeah, but they have
like that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't really see a problem with boat launch fees, but if they're gonna boat launch and parking fees, that seems to be getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah,
well, it's a counter thing. Like, I don't think they have to charge. Like, if you're doing something, that's private launches.
Are they? Obviously, they're not private though.
Well, I guess not. Like, there's still the sand lots that you can go off on Sylvan, but you can't launch a Wilson's on Gull, so you pretty much have to pay to go on Gull now.
Yeah. And most 40 Mile you got to pay. I'm pretty sure Newell you got to pay. Like
Newell, you don't. Last year you didn't have to pay.
Really? If you launch up in the
at the marina,
like the north end, the states.
I'm not from there, but when I went through the campground, I didn't have to pay the launch.
Really?
But you got a sticker for Newell though, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to bring up too. Like when I went down there, there's people waiting, and coming from a northern place, there's no like super information that you have to have irrigation for the irrigation area there to get your stamp and stuff.
Right.
So if there wasn't a person there, I would have had no clue.
Yeah, luckily at a lot of lakes they typically have a guy or someone there. Because Rattlesnake is like that. 40 Mile, like you gotta have a sticker, like.
And the only place you can get them is from the office, or Rolling Creek, or the marina at Newell. I think.
Yeah,
is what I
like
read.
If you buy
everywhere else, people can't find help. So who's going to expect they're going to pay some dipshit to stand there and check stickers? No one's going to do it, right?
Well, I mean, they're standing on
it. Was just one day he was
there.
there.
All the dipshits out there that check stickers. I didn't mean you. I just meant other dipshits.
Yeah, just one day they were there, and I was there for 3 days. Yeah. So if I didn't know, there's I never see anything about it.
Yeah. Again, that goes back to the enforcement that we talked about earlier, right? If no one's going to enforce it, then
it's really hard to get people to follow the rules if there's no one around to make sure you're following the rules.
Yeah, and
I
that's what happens
I
with
was
the
a
cuts.
14-year-old
And
kid without parents hanging around all the time at one point, being a little craphead.
that's like the cuts coming in, like the COs becoming peace offers and the peace offers
Yeah,
becoming
I thought they
COs.
did.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Dino, I've fished Newell with you and they never checked our sticker, so shut your
The
mouth.
the peace officer CO thing is like so confusing to me, man. Like,
No, it's not a
and
good thing. They have to be separate. You have to get more COs to deal with the situation because you can't just glump them into a pile. It might be a time saver or something, but when you're out west and stuff, you only have one CO and maybe a peace officer, which makes sense, I guess. But in all the other areas, why are COs going to investigate crimes like domestic disputes and stuff?
So,
yeah,
oh man,
price of the resource.
you're over time, but you know what? I said the exact same
Run
thing you just said for quite a while, Mitch. But I've talked to a couple of COs about this, and some of them are like, "Yeah, if I wanted to do this, I would have went to be a cop. We don't get paid for that crap."
I
But
know for a fact there's a ton of COs that are so pissed off and at the end of their line because they didn't sign up for that. They wanted to address the
right.
environment.
But we go back to the
And that's why
enforcement. There's a couple that have also pointed out that the advantage to it is it gives them access to systems that they wouldn't have as COs. That when they're catching some of these guys for the stuff that they're actually responsible for and realizing, hey, this guy is a piece of shit and this is what he does, it allows them to be able to enforce that stuff a little bit more. And I never looked at it that way before. Obviously, it's split. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a CO and then be told I have to be a domestic resolution officer and stuff like that. But there is systems that they're given access to they wouldn't get normally. And I can see it kind of from both sides.
I totally agree on most situations, but
Not only
I
is
think we have to still keep it separate.
not only is it a thankless job, I'm pretty sure that COs are like the most killed law enforcement agency.
Well, there's going to be another major issue with CO classes and graduation classes, and I'm yet to see anybody point it out. Our police service went through it for about 5 years here not too long ago. Obviously, it's weird how no one has noticed. Out of probably 18 or 20 recent cadets, there's only 2 females in the whole group. That's going to create a huge problem.
But I've seen a lot, like John
don't
Day.
want to do it.
John Day used to be our CO guy since I was like 16. I met him a long time ago. Me and my buddy Adam used to hunt out west forever, and he'd check us all the time. And then when he'd bring his spring students and stuff, he'd take the time to show them, like, we're the demonstration people because we've been out there so long by the end. And like, he would show them how, but it's just, the manpower is not there at all. Like, if something happened, like, there's no support.
Yeah. Dino makes me laugh. He says about how hard they are on him when they see him. Well, Dino, do you know what's funny about your situation? I encourage everyone to ask every fish cop in this province if they know Dino's name, and they'll say, yeah, I know it because of Facebook. So if you get given a hard time, there's probably a reason. They're watching you.
No, I've always had, sometimes they'll be aggressive off the start, but once you talk to them, usually they'll settle down. Like, I've had some guys just come up hot and heavy, and it's like, hey, what's up, man? Like, just fishing, we're good. Like, why are you being so aggressive?
Yeah.
They just don't want to go.
People.
That's the problem. They don't want to go. I have a chick CO here. I'm like, do you have issues?
A lady CO.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I have a female officer. But she's great. Super good. She's not the most knowledgeable person in the world when it comes to fishing, but she's trying to learn, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, you got a lot of issues, like with dudes? Well, not really, like for the most part. She's like, yeah, obviously you get dickheads, right? And I was like, why? Like, why did you decide to become a like, I don't know, just talk to her, right? She's like, well, like it used to be, you felt like you could make a change and you can't. You realize really soon that you can't. And they want you to go away for long periods of time, and you can't. You have absolutely no. When you become a fish cop, you have absolutely no say of where you're going.
Mhm.
So a lot, like, I mean, for me, I wouldn't care, right? I don't care where I go. As long as there's fish there, I'm going. I'm in, whatever. But for a lot of people, including females who actually are good at building relationships with their friends, unlike a lot of guys who are just like, yeah, bro, they obviously don't want to leave for long periods of time and leave their families and stuff like that. Just, I mean,
Yeah, I mean that is tough.
it's sad because, like Tash said, it used to be like you could train all over the place, and it was like boots on the ground training. You're going to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
Now it's like go to Hinton, go to school.
Or
This is why we have problems with our COs.
But she knew that. It's the RCMP model for hundreds of years. They knew that going into it.
And that's what
Same
and I
reason
know,
everyone
and that's why
wants
I'm
to get
saying they won't
oil
go.
money
They
when
don't want to
people
go,
want
man.
to travel.
that's a
So like you
government
can't
gig,
make the
though.
argument there's only 2 females and it's going to cause a problem because they don't
No.
they don't
What I'm
make it
saying,
like a.
no.
What do you mean?
That's
What I'm
any
saying
law
is they're being
enforcement gig.
deterred and they're being passed over for the opportunity. It's got nothing to do with that. I'm telling you right now. I know from experience, based on the way the Calgary Police Service ran for years, we will run into a major problem because female officers are being turned down, and denied from the opportunity to do that. It's not because they don't want to.
Yeah.
It's because they're not being given the opportunity.
But
It's
that's
the same reason why you see one East Indian.
Yeah, but you
gentleman.
can't. Yeah, but like, okay, so you're basically saying that Calgary Police Department is the model for entire law enforcement across Alberta because, like, last year my buddy didn't get in
Every
on
law
his second
enforcement
attempt.
agency
On
does.
his second attempt to be because my buddy didn't get in on his second attempt to be a police officer last year, and guess who got in? A 19-year-old female.
Yeah.
but I think
Right.
times are changing and they're trying
But
to
you
make
can't say that they're just being deterred across the board. They're being
Well,
deterred because there's no
years.
legitimate way to become one that is like a smooth process. It's
There
a
is
joke
no-
to try to become a CO.
There is
Honestly,
no
who wants to move to Hinton to go to school to become a conservation officer? And okay, but now you're gonna go out and have to respond to Marcy, beat the shit out of Todd.
But Adam, it's not like they
That
put
wasn't
an
in
AO officer and they didn't say, okay, this is how it works. You have to go to Hinton. You have to go where we put you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's
and if they don't want to go, we can't make them go. We can't make females be conservation officers if they don't want to go to Hinton and be one.
Is Lethbridge not doing the course anymore?
I don't think so.
No, that's why Tash dropped out because they won't do it down here in Lethbridge anymore. It's stupid.
Yeah,
There's no options for them to go, but you can't say that. Like, how is it any different from a guy having to go? If you want to make the equality argument, then you have to make the equality argument of, well, guys have to go to Hinton too.
I'd love to go to Hinton. Good moose hunting, elk, fishing.
Oh,
Fish
that's
is really
great.
You can bang off some grayling all day long. But it's
If saying it is still being offered in Lethbridge.
I'm pretty sure it's still Lethbridge because that's a huge government.
Yeah, I
university.
wouldn't know, so I'm not sure. But
My dad went to university there.
I thought she told me that that's why she wasn't going to go anymore because she couldn't do it in Lethbridge.
No, I'm pretty sure Lethbridge. That's one of the biggest government kind of affiliated universities. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll still do it.
Yeah,
down
it seems
there.
weird to me too because why would you take that away from I mean, Lethbridge isn't a major center, but it's a center. It's a large center, I think.
It's a big center.
Yeah, a big place. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you only have
The more
Hinton and
places you could
Lethbridge,
offer that and make it available to everyone, the better, in my opinion.
the thing with law
There should
enforcement
be
is
a
like,
course in Calgary at Sate or Nate in Edmonton, and well, sure, one in Hinton, and one in Lethbridge, and Medicine Hat College. You can take it too, and I don't know where other schools are because I'm not really that smart and I don't understand geography. I mean, it should
Fire
just be
welfare.
like you should be able to become a CO like you're able to become a cop, right? Like when you apply to be a cop, you apply in your city to be a cop.
You will be
Or
able to
maybe
if
you
it
apply to
goes
a
under
different
the
place.
peace officer area.
Yeah.
If it goes under the peace officer, you think they'd have to take the same training now?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they? Or is it just a separate section? Then no, it can't be a separate section because they have to give all that information to you if
They
you're
have
going to
separate
address all the
locations
situations now.
just for this book. Just for this one book, they have separate locations.
They
That doesn't
should,
surprise
but
me
if
at all.
you're
They might
doing
go to two
peace
different schools.
officer, if you're doing peace officer, or Lethbridge still has to deal with that because they're one of the biggest legal places there. Like my dad went there. And the shitty thing about doing law enforcement is you're going to get transferred. That's just the way it is. Like I moved from Red Deer to St. Paul to Medicine Hat, then back to Red Deer before we settled down as a kid. And that's just the way law enforcement works, I think. Because you have to put your time in different areas and
Same with the military, right?
Yep.
yeah, for sure. It's just seeing how adaptable you are to the situation sometimes, I think, is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, like I say, like I don't know, you stick me anywhere and I can put a fishing rod in my hand at some point during the week, then I'm probably going to be a pretty happy dude. But that's not for everyone, right? So I just
we didn't get into any regs.
well, because the actual, like if we want to get into actual breakdowns of regs, we got into a couple. It's just like it needs a whole overhaul, man. The whole system needs an overhaul. It's like literally fire everyone. They're incompetent. All our biologists, we'll make another point. Sturgeon have herpes in the South Saskatchewan River, but they couldn't catch any last year. They only caught 4. They only caught 4 because of the water levels. Water levels were to blame. Really? How many sturgeon did I put my hands on last year? I don't know, a lot. And guess who said, if you need someone who can make sure that there is fish on the shore for you guys to sample, let me know. The club fish, whatever, fish head of the club, Medicine Hat Fishing Game, said, you guys need someone like Adam. Adam is going to get you guys a fish. Here's his number. He's going to call you. Did Adam ever receive any phone calls, voicemails, messages, return to emails? 0.
Mm-hmm.
But they caught 4 fish and have inconclusive data. Great. These are our biologists.
My question is, how did those sturgeon get herpes if you catch so many?
Well, there's this great, wonderful place called Meth Island at the end of Strathcona Park. And it is a very scary place to walk. Watch your feet for needles.
All right. I had a list of shit to talk about, but we're not going to address any of that, I don't think, today.
I'm good.
We can run this for 3 hours.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. We haven't picked a winner for last month. I've been slacking. I've been busy at work, and my life's just going crazy trying to figure out how to not be welding anymore. But here's what we're going to do. I got the guys from, all guys from last month. I have a number beside their name. So you guys will have to agree on a number to
We
say,
don't talk over on anything. We're brothers.
well, you're gonna have to step it up and stop putting. You're gonna have to stop putting pillows in the
What's
oven.
it between, Mitch?
The old
What's
step
it
brothers.
between?
So you guys are gonna have to pick a number between 1 and 10.
Adam, what do you think about 4 to mark the number of sturgeon that dumb ass biologist is caught? Biologist.
Sounds perfect.
Okay, number 4, Mitchell. What's
Okay.
number 4?
That is, you probably can't see it.
Oh, we can't see it, Mitch.
Not even a little bit.
Read better.
What? No, I'm doing better.
Hey
What
guys,
is
Mitch Lilly here.
Can you
Look,
see
you
it
drew
now?
a fish. No, you drew a fish head though.
Hey, don't worry about my fish. I was trying to be artsy.
Mark.
Anyway,
Mark?
yeah,
Mark
it's
Forrest?
Mark. My homeboy Mark from Northern Saskatchewan.
Is that his actual name? Is
Congratulations,
Mark?
It's Mark. Yeah, B. He
Oh,
runs
Mark.
he runs Thero Lake Lodge. He won the last week of last month.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Congratulations, man. Let Adam and I know where we can collect our free trip for allowing you to win.
So he gets Dakota lithium battery,
Oh, I need one of
Another-
those.
another prize package, and we'll figure out
Is
some
there
money
anyone
prizes.
watching still? Do we have
Deep.
viewers?
Yeah, there's still 23.
Oh, was there?
Oh man! Thank you
That's
to
it.
all the 23 people who listened to me freak out for a little bit there. I apologize for swearing. I thank you guys for coming and watching. I hope you like the
23
mustache.
is the exact number of friends Adam just dropped off Facebook. Good job, everyone. Round of
Oh,
applause for Adam.
perfect! I'll be all right with that.
Adam, when can we expect your first letter template and where to send it?
If you want me to write you a letter template, just
Yeah, I
ask.
won't.
Because we have to base it off of what your resolution and your kind of concerns are. So if you want to message me and just like if you have any questions about like say I want to write one about grizzly bears or I want to write one about bull trout spawning grounds or I want to write one about walleyes, we'll figure it out together. I'll
deal.
gladly help anyone.
I probably have
inbox
one
me.
for grizzly bears already.
Brandon's working on
Yeah.
one too, he said. So
Oh, cool.
There's one for grizzly bears, I'm assuming, from some guys. So I'll let you know next week. Anything fishing related, get a hold of Adam, Horseshoe Kid, on Instagram. And where can they find you on Facebook?
Todd Boyd or Living for Fishing on Instagram.
And me on Facebook, just if you can write in that name, you probably find me there. I have a Horseshoe Kid Facebook account. I don't typically get notifications for the messages because I'm not super techy. But I might be able to figure it out. Maybe something will pop up.
Are you still Six Stash on Grinder as well?
It's Mr. Six Stash.
Oh, my bad.
And I have to message you first, so I'm really not going to know what the problem is.
So you're not getting a message, Todd.
Yeah.
And you're still on Greasy Bastard Radio every Thursday night, 10 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, you hosers. We're
You guys
out
I'm
later.
down
here.
to help anybody go for real. Like, if you have any questions at all, like about it, just message me. I'll like not be a dork. I like to be a dork when I'm with these two because they make me laugh a lot. But yeah, message me and we can go through some stuff and we can talk about stuff and maybe I don't know. Even if you have questions about fishing, like I'm not gonna give spots out anymore. I just don't roll like that anymore. It's hurt me too many times. But I'll tell you what works for me for whatever species you're fishing. I fish everything in Alberta. If you want to catch minnows, I'll tell you how I do it. If you want to catch sturgeon, I'll tell you how I do it. Everything else, I'll tell you how I do it.
Very knowledgeable
I try to be nice.
guy right there. He's hands down, but I forgot we have to still do a giveaway.
Oh,
I got a bunch of new stuff. Like
Dude.
a basket full.
do you have any beard
Have
trim?
purple
kits?
hoodies. I want one. I'm pretty short. Like, if you're worried about
Don't worry
like,
about
if you
your
need me to
guys'
test
hoodie.
sizes, like I'll test them.
Hey,
You got any
Mitch,
underwear I can test?
just don't forget you
I
told
think-
everyone those hooks are only $6 a piece, right? So if you're gonna do a show giveaway, make it worth their while.
Okay. Our friends, the locators, they got a white
Oh, those guys are dope.
White Rock tumbler from White
Pale
Rock
horse and
Company.
solar wells.
So this is going to hold your beverage awesome as you're sitting listening to the chaos. And then we have a Masuda shirt
Oh, that's sick.
to give away. And
If he pulls out a Masuda rod, I'm logging off and entering this thing.
another Locators toque.
Oh, awesome, Aaron
sick.
stuff. I love that logo, man.
And we're gonna throw in a couple more things, like a couple T-shirts from us. So,
Hey, can you toss in a sponsorship with Pisca Fun for me? I bought like 7 of their reels lately. I need that.
talk to James
To-
or
to
talk
who?
to me after. But
No, if any company were to watch a podcast that I do like this, they would never want to associate with me.
okay, you guys gotta pick 2 emojis, separate ones. Make them hard, not fucking or easy ones.
You want to go first, Adam?
Yeah, the head that's got the cloud and it's exploding.
A clown exploding.
No, the head with. Okay, we got to change that because obviously I'm not explaining it very well. The snake.
Oh, a snake now.
I'm a
Well, they have to post both of these at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So you're going snake, Adam?
Snake.
Perfect. I'm going wine cork.
What company is that, Todd?
You'll know more soon. It's our new thermal spray cork company. So my emoji is going to be a wine cork.
All right, let's see them. You guys heading
Barry,
out?
you're missing one, bud. Barry.
You guys heading out this weekend?
Dude, I can't tell. Those don't look like corks. I see bottles. I don't see a cork.
No, they ain't nothing yet.
I'm deep in some research, so I am definitely fishing this weekend.
Yeah. It's Easter weekend, so we either should go camping. So I'm gonna pound some rivers.
You know what?
for sure.
You know what we can talk about really quickly while we're waiting for the winter?
Yeah.
How freaking good it feels and how proud you are of yourself when you figure, like, I don't know how important fishing is to you guys. Fishing is everything to me. Everything. I'm single. I will always be single because I just love to fish. Like, I've been doing research on like a place for like a year. It's somewhere I've fished like a lot over the past 5 years. Man, I've learned so much, and like it's like such a good feeling, and like some really quality fish, and like that's like the best feeling as a fisherman.
Oh yeah.
Like
Just,
it's literally sick.
It goes to Tiff, Mitch, because if you punch cork in emojis, that's what comes up as that bottle.
The sideways bottle.
Yeah.
All right, Tiff.
Sideways. Speaking of sideways bottle, watch this.
Why is it not gurgling like the other bottle?
That's all I have. That was my entire joke.
All right. Tiff's in. We got the cork thingy. So, congratulations, Tiff.
Congratulations
I
to Tiff for that beautiful brown
I
the
saw
other day.
she was slaying the other day too.
Yeah, she caught a hog brown. That was a beautiful
Like a
fish.
hog.
Cool photo too.
Yeah.
The way that photo turned out, that's sick.
Still didn't get an invite. I know Marcy never got an invite, so she must have forgot.
Marcy
Okay.
probably got an invite, like snuck out, like boom, threw a couple casts, came home. She was like, "Oh, babe, I was at the grocery store. I love you."
I was probably sleeping. I'm old, man.
That's probably sleeping.
That'll happen.
Thanks for having me on the show, Mitch.
We're all old. Hey, thanks for tuning in. maybe we can address half this stuff next time. It was an amazing show, though. Everyone got their feelings out about the situation in Alberta, I feel. So most of them anyways, and hopefully we can get that addressed. Like Adam said, send him some messages. He can maybe do up something and we can have a full-on assault on
Despite the way I talk, I
way
can write
stuff.
pretty good.
Yeah, just talking to your phone. It's way easier.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that because then we'll come out with like a whole bunch of jibber jabber like the last half an hour that I flipped out there. But no, like I actually have to do some paperwork and stuff for work, so I actually know how to write things in a slightly professional manner. So we will make it look real nice.
Yeah,
and I got the
that'll be
email
awesome.
addresses of the people we need to talk to. I got lead biologist emails and everything like that. It's amazing what happens when you like start right.
Bugging people.
Yeah, like you gotta like you just gotta get your voice out there because there are people who will listen.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people who won't listen, and that's always that's with everything in life. But there are people who will listen, and if you say things enough times, and if you don't go away, they'll be forced to pay attention to you.
Definitely.
And
Once you
make enough noise, they have to listen.
Once you have the momentum behind you, and we can send some other things to some other people as well. I feel that have been high up in the industry, so
yeah,
it's good. Hopefully things will change. It's hard to do in Alberta with just the population control, but I hope that we can address these situations and hopefully one day have a sustainable fishery that everyone can be proud of.
Or at least working towards them. Like whether it like like I say, like lake trout in Cold Lake. We're in my lifetime, I mean, hey, it would be lucky to see a really, really good fishery out of that place. But maybe for like kids, that would be for people who actually have kids. They would enjoy it. Me, my spirit will enjoy it.
Oh, for sure. Like it doesn't take much time. It could if stuff gets addressed right away, you will see the change. There are the big fish still there, but
yeah,
the numbers are far and few between just because of that size slot, for sure.
Needs to change.
Yeah,
we could do a lot better across the board on all sorts of things. And like I say, guys, I mean, it's up to us to like, okay, like maybe we don't keep a Laker this year because we go, wow, like all this stuff that we talk about and all this stuff that I agree with that these guys say or those guys say, here I am putting one in my box.
Big Lakers.
Maybe that's something like, I don't know, like it's a hard thing to say because I know I got a lot of friends who will put one in the box, and I don't honestly blame them because you got to eat, you got to feed the family. But like maybe you just don't put one in the box because you agree that this fishery needs to come around. And
yeah, I think
if it won't start with them, it's going to start with me. That's what you got to say.
24-inch and under, keep one. Like as soon as they get bigger than that, they're greasy. Who wants to eat them? Unless you're deep frying them, they just don't taste great. They're greasy. Like keep the smaller ones when you have them.
I'm a big fan of small lake trout. But it's just you got to remember, like the change starts with all of us, right? So we all got to, if we want to say that we want to see something a certain way, then we have to be that certain way too. Otherwise, it doesn't really hold much. Your statement doesn't hold much water, right? So
yeah, no. If they could do a size slot that's a smaller size slot, then it gives those chance to those big. Like lake trout takes so long to grow, right?
Yeah,
like it takes years and years for a trophy lake trout. So if we're taking the smaller ones when they're abundant, why aren't we taking those fish instead of that size slot that takes so much longer to grow? And they're greasy. They're not great to eat. Like if you wanted to throw a steak on the barbecue, they're greasy. Get the smaller ones in the lakes you can.
Yep. That's crazy, man.
All right.
Hey, did
let's
rock art tackle sell?
yeah,
Really?
but
I'm not allowed to comment.
that's not talking about. We're out of here.
Oh.